Welcome to day 25 of our 30-day wholesaling challenge. We're talking today about the ultimate vacant land guide. What is it? How do we do it? And how can you implement it in your wholesaling business? But before I get into it, first do me a favor, make sure you smash that like button. You hit that subscribe notification button to continue to receive the absolute best information on wholesaling. So vacant land, how do you wholesale vacant land? And is it any different than doing single family houses? I'm going to make this super simple for you. Yes, you can wholesale land, and it's actually easier than wholesaling single family houses. That's right, I said it. Because if you think about this from a simplicity standpoint, you have a piece of land, and when you have a single family house, you have an asset on top of it. And so usually both of them combined figures out what your ARV is on your after repaired value. And so the land's always kind of just a set value, and then based on what the condition of the house is, how many square feet, how many bedrooms, bathrooms, etc., you come out with the value of it, or what we call the comp. When you talk about just the vacant land, it's just you take the house off and you just have a piece of land. It might be raw, it might be somewhat developed, it might be what we call an infill lot, which is the last lot waiting to be built in the neighborhood, and there's houses all around it. It doesn't matter what stage it is. This is basically vacant land. It's all over the country, and people buy it and just sit on it, and they hope either one day to retire and build a house there, or they hold it for an investment to get a nice fat return 10, 20, 30 years down the road. So most people buy land is a speculation. They get tired of it though. Why? You got to pay property taxes. You still got to deal with sometimes keeping up the landscaping on the land. And sometimes they just get tired of it, or they just need money to sell it. So why not incorporate vacant land into your wholesaling operation? Well, Rick, how would I do that? There's not that much vacant land in my backyard. Here's the beauty of doing vacant land, especially for wholesaling, is it is probably the best opportunity to do virtually than even single family homes. Why? Because you go to markets where there's tons of land available and there's plenty of cash buyers to buy, and you can pick any market in the United States. So this is a perfect fit for virtual wholesaling. And honestly, it's probably one of the best markets you can start with virtual wholesaling, because not as many people are tuned in on doing the vacant land. Obviously, everybody's chasing single family houses. Multifamily, even more people are chasing. Why not go where the opportunity is? Guys, it's 2023. I'm telling you, if you're not doing vacant land and you want to start virtual wholesaling, it is the perfect match. So how do we get started doing vacant land wholesaling? To be honest with you, this type of investing, you have to do it in reverse order. You can't do it the traditional way you do single family homes, because the reality is you're just valuing what the land is. There is no structure on it, and you have to be accurate in your number. So how do I find out what a piece of vacant land's worth, especially if I'm doing it in a virtual market halfway across the country? It's actually easy. Think about the common sense. Go to your cash buyers in that area, and the easiest way to do it is go over to listrei.com, pull up the cash buyers buying vacant land in the last 6 months. You can go back to 12 months. I prefer 6 months, and skip trace them and call them. These are your future customers, your clients, and simply ask, what areas are you buying and what are the price points you're comfortable with? Once you get enough data, intel from your cash buyers, those are your comps. That's it. Now you just have to go and find vacant landowners that you can buy below that number, and then make the difference between both of them. You see, the mechanics of vacant land is the same as single family houses. You put it under contract. You then do an assignment of contract to your new cash buyer. If you buy it for 10 and then they want to buy it for 20, you pocket $10,000 via your assignment of contract. You have to do it in this order. Do not go out and contract land and then try to find a cash buyer, because you're going to put it under the contract price for the wrong amount. And so make sure you do it in this exact reverse order. Go out, get your cash buyers, find out where they're buying, and find out the price points they're comfortable with. And then you go out and you're going to pick a vehicle to attack your vacant landowners. Another way to find cash buyers, if you're using listrei.com, is simply go in the Facebook groups and look at land investing groups in your area. So if you're like Tennessee or Knoxville, or say you're in Durham, North Carolina, just Google and search in there. You go in Facebook groups and look for vacant landowners, look for investment groups, and go find the cash buyers that are looking to buy vacant land projects. Some of them are small developers. Some of them are just individual investors. Some people want to build their dream home in that area. It's just an array of buyers. The type of buyer you typically want to avoid in this niche market are the big giant home builders. I'm not going to use names because I don't want someone to come down and shut the video, but they're the big giant names. You know what I'm talking about? These people do not do it via assignment of contract, and they will lock you up on a contract forever. So go find small independent builders builders, contractors, or private individuals that want to buy a land of their dream or do an investment, they are going to have the most amount of money and give you the least amount of resistance, and that's where you want to focus on. And the last thing I want to go over on the cash buyers is you have to vet these people, meaning you have to spend some time and actually get information from them, and you want to make sure they're real buyers because you're going out in an asset class and you're buying it based on their information. So make sure they have a history of buying land and make sure they're doing exactly what they say, because you're going to use this information to go out and find vacant land owners and buy them at a discount based on the numbers your cash buyers give you. Make sure they're not wholesalers. They're not going to work. You need to find real cash buyers that actually have funds and can close quickly on any type of vacant land deal you come across. Now, finding the land is actually kind of the easy part. You can just go on Google searches. There's tons of sites out there that have vacant lands. I don't really promote a lot of them because a lot of them are very salesy, and a lot of them, there are realtors tied into it. For simplicity, if you can find a piece of land without a realtor tied to it, your success dramatically goes up. Realtors, honestly, most of them don't know how to sell land, and they take it as a byproduct listing, and it just wastes a lot of time with them. But you are going to deal with them on the internet. You have to make a decision if you want to deal with a realtor in the middle. It usually makes it much more difficult. So the first place I'm going to go is listrei.com, and you can do a vacant land search, and it's very simple if you already have an account with them. Use it because it's part of your 10,000 leads per month, or get a 7-day free trial period at listrei.com and just give it a shot. The other one, if you're doing this locally, is simply driving for dollars, getting in your car and going out and finding all types of vacant land. And if you can find land where you have infill lots, where it's like the last lot in the neighborhood and it's like really overgrown, those are great ones to reach out to because typically they don't have a realtor involved, and there is a huge appetite for people in that area that want to build a new house on that piece of land. You just got to put the right deal together. And the last one is just a good old FSBO. That's a for sale by owner. You can call on these lists everywhere between Zillow, Trulio. They're all over the internet. There's a million of them, but remember, FSBOs can be difficult, but when you're talking about vacant land, here is the secret to it. A lot of vacant land owners are not emotionally tied to the property because they're not living in it. And if you understand that, it's a little bit easier to negotiate than doing a single family house where people have a personal emotional tie to it. You don't get this nearly as much with vacant land. And one of the reasons I like vacant land is you can get much longer contract periods because it's not uncommon to close vacant land 90 days later, saying I got to do a title search, I got to make sure, the soil's correct, everything like that. And so sellers are much more flexible, and you get that longer inspection period, which allows you to go out and shop your contract around to find the best cash buyer. Now, these do take much longer to sell. That's why you have to have more time. And that's why I want you to deal with your cash buyers up front so you can skip that long process, and you can't do that after you have a vacant land under contract. So once you've gone out and you've picked how you want to attack this, is you have multiple strategies that you can market to vacant land owners. And so now you know where to go to look. So how do you attack them? Honestly, the easiest way is really just cold calling. It's getting that information, getting the address, getting the homeowner's information, and skip tracing it. You could do it manually at truepeoplesearch.com, or you can use it through Prop, or you can use Batch and do the skip trace. Whatever your budget allows you to do, you can do that, and then just reach out to them. The reason cold calling is so effective, it's fast, it's direct, and honestly, it's the fastest way to get a vacant land deal done. That's my number one recommendation. The second one is SMS texting. It works very, very effective because it's not as emotional of a sale for the seller. And honestly, SMS texting is very scalable, especially for you individual operators. It is dynamite. You need to find the right platform to do it. There's a lot of them out there. Just check it out. Go over to freewholesaling.com. We can give you advice on that. But SMS is the most scalable one for a single individual operator, and that's why people really gravitate towards that. Remember, the goal with SMS is to convert them from a text to via phone call. You're never going to close these deals 100% on text. And if you do, it's the exception. It's definitely not the rule. And one of the other marketing methods that you can use is direct mail. So if you have a little bit of budget and you have some experience under your wings, you can attack vacant land owners easily with direct mail. It's actually extremely effective. My recommendation is just a simple postcard. As I said, go over to freewholesaling.com. We can show you how to do all that. And what you need to do if you're going going to do it, you have to commit to a minimum 3-month campaign. So you can't do direct mail for 1 month and say it didn't work, because it takes time to stick. So come up with a budget for 3 months, come up with a number of pieces, go pull your list on the strategies I talked about earlier in this video. And if you want to get started in direct mail and attack the vacant land wholesaling market, postcards are a great fit for this. And honestly, it's extremely scalable and you can have the calls coming directly to you. My only advice is to answer these calls when they come in, either you or have somebody on your team or a family member or a friend help you answer the call. First impressions, you only get one shot. If you don't answer the phone, you might never hear from this seller again. Answer the phones. It will dramatically increase your results when it comes to direct mail on vacant land wholesaling. Okay, the last technique I teach on vacant land wholesaling is use the tools that are already out there for you. And I'm going to share a little known secret. A lot of wholesalers have huge egos, and an ego is just a person's self-image of what they think they should be. And most people can't bury it. I used to be one of them, for full disclosure. Now, why am I telling you this? Because people that are having success in wholesaling vacant land, they like to brag and they like to put out all their posts and stuff. Make sure you get on their buyers list and you vet them. Most of the stuff you see on the internet is a lie. And a lot of people, either they're making a post to induce you to pay for a course and they're going to DM you through the back door, like whatever they're going to do, or they're going to speak on a stage. Is when you see these posts, vet them. Every now and then you do see legit people. And once you get on their buyers list, you can look at the zip codes, the properties they're posting, and honestly just reverse engineer their own ego. And if they are legit and they're bragging and they're using their ego, it is an easy backdoor to do free market research on somebody else's dime. Guys, I use this all the time. This is how I find a lot of hot markets. When someone says they're killing it in vacant land, if I can get them through the test threshold, meaning I go in and see if they actually closed on the deals and they're telling the truth, more than 70% of them wind up being backdoor gurus trying to sell you a course through a private DM because they don't even want to pay for an ad for it, which should make you very nervous. But the ones that come through legit, they give you basically the map to where the gold is. And if you know how to reverse engineer other wholesalers, especially doing vacant land, it is a gold mine. And guys, why? I see the posts every day. Here's the caveat to it. You have to do your research and see if they're actually doing the deals. Make sure they're not like student deals, and see if they actually get traction with the method they're using, and then just reverse engineer their market. It's really, really simple. The key is get on their buyers list. So guys, let me know, are you attacking vacant land for your wholesaling operation? And if not, please tell me why in the comments. Guys, there's no reason you can't do both. They are not mutually exclusive. You can do them with the same techniques you do regular single family house wholesaling. I would incorporate vacant land wholesaling. Why? Because I think it's somewhat of an untapped market and it allows you to go virtually no matter where you are. So guys, if you got value from this video, do me a favor. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe notification button to continue to receive the absolute best information. This is Rick Ginn on day 25 of our 30-day wholesaling challenge. I'll see you in day 26.